When looking at your strength program, one group of exercises that I want you to make sure you're incorporating are pull exercises. Now, pull exercise just means that you're just pulling the weight towards you. That can be a lat pull down, a straight row, an inverted row, any sort of pull motion. Now, if we look at the golf swing, let's just take driving the ball for instance, okay? The weight of that driver head as you're swinging is being pulled out away from you. It's called centripetal force. The faster you're swinging, the more force going out away from you. You need pull strength to keep that club on plane and to stay back into a good position. So the faster you're swinging, the more pull strength you need, okay? When we look at pull strength testing, it's one of the first things that we go through, and I think it's one of the more important ones. So depending on where you stand in your strength testing, we'll then decide where we're going to start with the exercises. If we're on the lower end of the spectrum and we really need to work on pull strength, we might start with just some 2-arm pulls, okay? And a more stable position is going to be a split stance position, so a 2-arm row in a split stance. Then we might progress to a square stance. Then, if you really want to work on stability, we can work on a single leg stance. Okay. After that, I really want to try to get into single arm pulls as quickly as possible. Okay. I think you get the biggest bang for your buck and you can see really good gains when you're doing single arm or single leg exercises. Okay. Now, there's no shortage of pull exercises. I mean, I could probably come up with 50 off the top of my head easily. But one of my favorite is just the 1-arm cable pull. Okay, now you can do bent over rows with dumbbells, kettlebells, rows with a landmine, inverted rows, band exercise. I mean, there's all sorts of different things, okay? But if we look at the cable row, or if you've got bands at home and just attach a band to the wall, we get into that split stance position or the square stance. I like the square stance just because it's a little more golf specific, okay? Get nice and straight with the spine, keep that trunk stable, head tucked back. I like to have the other arm out in front. It's just a nice little feedback mechanism to help keep your shoulders square here. And then you're just pulling straight back to your chest. Squeezing that shoulder blade back as much as you can. Now, this is called a no rotation pull. Now, we can get into rotational pulls as well, where we're really rotating into it. I generally like to do that a little more once we get into speed training. So making the weight a little bit lighter and really going as quickly as possible. If we're just working on strength, we typically do a no rotational pull, but you can mix it up either way. All right. Now, this, like I said, is just about chest level. You can also put the weight down below and have it be a little more golf specific. So you're pulling up this way. Now, one thing I want you to make sure you're doing when you're doing that pull is it's just a straight pull back. One common fault that we see is a pull up and back. So we're getting a lot of shrugging with that shoulder, okay? Typically on the medical side of things, we see a lot of tightness and tension over facilitation of upper trap, neck muscles. If we're getting that upward movement, we're just gonna feed into that. So that's a common thing we see. So just try to avoid it if you can. So straight back, thinking almost like you're going down and back with that movement, okay? As you see here, got fat grip on the handle. You can just order these on Amazon, wherever. They're pretty inexpensive, and you just slap those on the handles, dumbbells, kettlebells. We like to do that with a lot of our pull exercises. It forces you to use your grip strength and forearm muscles a little bit more. So two birds, one stone. Why not? Just work on grip strength while you're working on your pull strength, okay? Sets, reps. So you're starting to incorporate these. How much weight should you be doing? How often? That sort of thing. Sets and reps, generally we shoot for about 3 to 4 sets, anywhere from about 6 to 10 reps. Generally we stay in that 6 to 8 rep range if we're working on strength, okay? you should get to that 8th rep and feel like you really can't do a whole lot more. We like to do about 80% of your max effort. Okay, so shoot for that when you're doing the weight. Okay, add these pull exercises in and start swinging the club faster.